Okay, so the last one is Andre. I think it's André Amorim. Is how you say it. Lisbon, Portugal. I need to visit there. Fuzel, we need to visit there. Um, so yeah, contract artist at Decagon right now. 2 posts. It feels like I see Decagon work here, and you can't go wrong with a rubber ducky. Follow as well. Just gotta see. I gotta see what gets posted here. I feel like Andre might have Duck might have also wiped the portfolio and is now posting anew, if you will. So let's see. I know that he wrote in here in our little chat thing. Long story short. Long story short, kind of is what what he said. So he's been working as a graphics designer for the past 10 years. During that time, I took some courses, and one of them got me in touch a bit with 3ds Max. After that, I decided to learn ZBrush and Max, but due to my personal and professional situation at the time, 3D dropped out of the scene. During the lockdown in 2020, I got my hands back in it and took a mentorship. My portfolio at the moment is work from that mentorship. Aha! I really think prop art is my thing. I feel that I'm more comfortable with hard surface props, and that's something I'm planning to wait. I'm more comfortable with hard surface props, and that's something I'm planning to correct. So, just getting into it. Lockdown, man. Lockdown. There's so many people that are like, oh, yeah, I just, lockdown happened, and then I just picked up 3D, and there were so many resources online, and all of a sudden they've career shifted. This is not the first time I've heard of this. It's really interesting. A lot of people have found 3D during that time. So contract artist at Decagon, that's pretty nice. Decagon does some pretty nice content. We've got my first portfolio piece. It was an awesome project developing during the old school coaching program with Ivan to understand the real-time AAA pipeline. Low poly, modeled in Max, baked textured in Substance Painter, rendered in Marmoset. This looks like it would get you a contract with Decagon. This is the type of detail that I think Decagon is quite interested in. So there's quite a bit of information in here. I wonder how much of this is, let's see here. So this is in Marmoset. And I think because it's in Marmoset, a lot of this detail is just kind of baked in. Whereas in my opinion, I guess it depends on like how big the asset is, right? It's a pump, a stirrup pump. But like when you look at the size of an asset like this, a 0 to 1 makes sense. Like this is it's a small asset, 0 to 1, just bake it, you're good to go. And then it's about making sure that your roughness values are pretty on point. This is a unique textured asset. Let's see if there's more breakdown. Yeah, there's a breakdown here. So see where the like really noisy type of information is, like at the bottom here. What I would actually suggest doing for these types of assets is concentrate on these larger shapes. Maybe I should just bring this into Photoshop here. So if we zoom in here, you have these larger shapes here, right? Those are definitely like perfect candidates for a unique normal bake. And I mean, there's gonna be some breakup and stuff, right? But you can see there's a softer area here in the normal, and then this is pretty busy, and this is equally as busy, right? And then this is like pretty intense. Those are the details that you could hide in a mask. Like, I'm sure people in chatter know what I'm about to say, but hiding it in a mask that controls the strength of a detail normal, right? So in your albedo, you could in the alpha put in that black and white mask. And that black and white mask, I can't be in the call because I'm at work, but I'm hearing you on my phone. Oh, dude, awesome. That black and white mask can be controlling the strength of this normal. So if you imagine this normal is just a tiling detail normal, then the fidelity goes up so much higher. And where it's really flat like this, that's just in the mask where you're lowering the strength of it. That's I would say that's an approach that is acceptable as long as you're at a working on a project where they can pay for that extra channel in the memory, right? Yeah, and I know this was all done in Substance Painter, and I know it's a 0-to-1 bake, so totally fine, and the details of it look quite good. I think where it's breaking down a little bit, I know this is marmosets as well, so you're working with gloss and not roughness, but understanding the roughness of this paint and the variety of roughness that's going to happen in here, right? So like this darker stuff, I would expect that's probably a little bit more rough and finite in the details. That's like going to have a different roughness profile to the paint that's not as damaged, right? So getting the separation in those, so it's not just one range of roughness, because right now it feels like a single roughness pass. Let me see here. Yeah, it's there. It's just very subtle, right? And I think pumping that up a little bit more. I know this is gloss, not roughness. It's like giving it a little bit more contrast is gonna get those separations to happen a little bit more clearly. The other thing you could do is instead of adding the contrast in here, you could lower the contrast in the albedo, which is like you have these darker details here. And depending on what's causing that darkness, it might not actually be that dark in the albedo. And what's actually making it feel dirty like this is the difference in the gloss map that you have here, or roughness if you're in the roughness pass. But this looks like your metallic map as well. I think that's how that works. Let me see if yeah, one thing I would say going forward is when you do a post like this, just for safety reasons, at the bottom I would just put like what map is each one. Can just be like, we all know what a normal looks like, right? But or in the text, like, you know how you can write text for the image, a text saying from left to right, and then just say the names of the maps. That way, someone can look at this and be like, "Oh, this is a gloss model, not roughness." But I mean, detail-wise, looks pretty nice. It can only be turned up by using a detail normal to kind of lip gloss. Your lips are hella glossy. I had a friend tell me, tell a person that he met for the first time. You just reminded me of it. It was a house party on the roof. And we're all meeting each other, and he's like, "Oh," he shakes her hand, and it's like, your lips are hella glossy." I'll never forget it. I think that was 2006. Anyways, little side story for your portfolio review. Yeah, so I think material-wise, this looks pretty cool, and it's just a matter of like really understanding and pushing the roughness differences between like what is wood, what is metal, what's paint look like, what's damaged paint look like, and the roughness, all that stuff. Your lips have the perfect roughness. Yeah, it does not. Yeah, that doesn't help, dude. Just to put it into perspective, when he said that, they weren't even using normal maps in Unreal yet. Think about that. This next asset, World War II first aid kit for gas casualties. Very specific. There's definitely a reference. The Dark Ages. There's reference for this. I can feel it. Now, the attention to detail on this is quite high. In that glass bottle there, that little vial, man, it's not a vial, but the little glass bottle, super sick. Like, that material looks really good. Yeah, look at that. When the camera's rotating, oh my gosh. Yeah, this is awesome. It's definitely a pretty high detail on the lid for that, or the cap on that bottle. The vial. There's quite a bit of geo there. You could probably be done with the normal map. I think the amount of geometry being used on the paper is just barely enough. I wouldn't hesitate to add more, at least at the edges, so that way it has like a smoothing to it. But yeah, the topology is very, very clean. There was a lot of air when creating this content or this asset, but man, it looks really good. I don't know why, but I keep thinking there's like dried sausage in this or something. I don't think that's what that is. Um, yeah, I mean the material variety is also quite nice. Gathering Wolves is laughing at me. Don't laugh at me, man. Thanks for the follow, Amy. Um, pretty sure that's not a sausage, Jared. I'm pretty sure you're right. It's was it muslin bandage? It's that the it's the type of bandage I would use as a kid to look like a mummy. That's what it is. I can never say the yeah, I can never say it, but anyways. Oh man, chat is going off about sausages now. Um Presentation on this is really nice and is very how do you say it? It's very unified in the way the materials are. Man, this is such a nice viewer. I think this is Marmoset. You can see the ray traced reflections in the metal here. Right there. Let me see if we can look at that. Oh man, so nice. That's why that bottle looks so good. Such a good asset. So nice loop as well. Oh my gosh. Yo, hey, thanks for the sub. Uh, but I mean, your content looks pretty good, man. You're doing contract work for Decagon. I think as you start to do Decagon drops, your portfolio is just gonna look better. Um, and yeah, I should probably post this in the thing here. I think the only thing I would say is some variety, like you're talking about in your work, where it's you're more comfortable with hard surface. It would be really interesting to see your approach on and your work on rocks, right, or cliff faces. Those types of details could be really interesting to see. I don't think Decagon necessarily needs that, but you never know. Um, yeah, going for some organic stuff too. Yeah, like some trees maybe could be pretty good. Uh, or some like low ground plants. I know that Melissa on the server, she was doing these really cool they're like micro plant dioramas where you just have different types of like leaves and grass blades and stuff and then a few different flowers. Super interesting. Trying to get some time between the three jobs. My God, sir. That's a lot of jobs. I mean, I hope with the Decagon stuff that would help enough where you don't have to do too much more as far as jobs. That's intense, man. You did some organic stuff for Decagon, some foliage and stuff like that. Nice. Yeah. See, I think once Decagon lets you post, that your portfolio I think is gonna grow quite a bit actually. Um, you've got 234 followers. I actually like the presentation of your thumbnails here. It could be interesting to let me see if there's a we could do like a thumbnail adjustment. I like this thumbnail. This type of approach for a thumbnail is one of my favorites. It's where you do like a close up and it's not out of context, but it doesn't show everything. So that you're like you want to click it. You want to see more because the quality already is quite high here, and I don't think you get that with this thumbnail. Let me just print screen this, and we can bring this into the Photoshops, and then let's go in here, and it's like these types of details, or this area is super interesting, or this area is really interesting. So maybe copying this image. Let's see here. And then let's go and grab this. We're on the tail end of our stream now too, by the way. Hope you guys have been having fun. Oh my god, I can't. What is this? Can I smart select this? Please. No? Is that all you're going to give me? Oh my god. All right. I'm just going to eyeball it. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine, I swear. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to make a mask. And then I'm going to put this under here. Oh, that is not. Hang on, that's not working at all. Boop. There we go. Kill that. Unlock that. Let's hide that. Okay. Oh yeah, see the mask is. Oh my god, can't handle it. Even just doing something like this, like that's, to me, that's quite interesting, right? Or like tilting it, maybe. Maybe that's too extreme of a tilt because it's like it's kind of following the same direction. I would hesitate to show the handle because then it gets into this like weird clipping moment. Maybe just the handle. Yo. Like this. It's one way to do it. But you see what I mean? Like there's so much more like interesting stuff going on because you're just looking at like what is that? You know? Or like just finding an area with really interesting detail. Oh, this is gonna bug me. You're going down, pixels. You're going down. Take that. Haha. And you up here. Screw you guys. But yeah. Something like that could be quite interesting. And man, there's so much like crunchy detail going on here. We should high pass that jazz. There's high pass. Get this like tight little details here. You can see like what you want to do is isolate the areas you want quote unquote sharp, and then you just put them as a overlay, and you can see it gets really crunchy. It's like sharpening it up. And then let's see here. What I would do is then I think I need to make another mask. I need to wait, what? There we go. Basically paint where you want that sharpness to happen because you don't want it everywhere, right? And then you're like whammo bammo, and then you take this layer and you zero it all the way, and then just turn it up just enough to sharpen it. But yeah. What's going on, Polygon? It piques interest. Oh yes, the thumbnail. Yeah, when you don't really know what you're looking at, yes, it piques interest for sure. Yo, I'm moving the sharpness mask and the. Oh, that's interesting. But like that's kind of cool too. Super intriguing. And don't be afraid to like. I know your colors here are quite muted. Don't be afraid to just like turn it up a little bit. Get that red, you know, the fire red. I wonder what this looks like if I just turn that up. Because like reality, it can be quite bland. It's like pushing those colors, really interesting. Anyways, I imagine you are probably working. I don't know if you're still in chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to either ask me in chat or if you ask me in the server in our little our portfolio review chat thingy, just ask me a question there. I'll help you out, get you the answers you need. But I mean, for starting during COVID times on your lockdown experience, this is quite impressive, and congratulations on your contract with Decagon. I think this is some good stuff, man. I'm looking forward to seeing more from you. That's why I followed you. I'm curious now. But cool.